Jessii Vee, and in today's video I'm going to be telling you two different stories about some very creepy VHS tapes that people found. And yes, one has to do with Barbie, which is so weird, but you'll see in a second. Obviously, as you can see, I have a new backdrop behind me. I am so excited about this one. If you haven't been able to tell yet, it is a Harry Potter backdrop. I love Harry Potter. This is the scene where Harry Potter and Dumbledore go into that creepy cave to get the Horcrux. This scene always used to freak me out, but look how green and amazing it is. I love this. I almost don't want to give it away, but I will. Before I get into how to win this one, I'll be announcing the winner of last month's backdrop. That contest was on Instagram and the winner is VCat28. Congratulations. Now there was also a contest for the Coraline backdrop from a year ago. That contest was on Cameo and the winner is Nevaeh Williams. So I will be DMing both of those people and thank you guys for entering. If you would like to win this one behind me, all you have to do is be subscribed to this channel, so my Jessii Vee channel, turn on your notification bell, and then once again head over to my Instagram, it is Jessii Vee, and DM me your favorite character from Harry Potter. Alright, there is one more thing before we get started. In a couple weeks, I'm gonna be having Rainn Wilson over on my channel. We're doing a video together. You probably know him as Dwight from The Office. He has a new fictional podcast called Dark Air, and he plays a fictional character named Terry Carnation. And he is somewhat of a paranormal expert. He has a radio show and he gives people advice about their paranormal experiences. So he's coming on to my channel to give you guys advice about your paranormal experiences. So comment down below a creepy paranormal experience that you've had. Keep it to like a paragraph. It has to be really short. And your story might be in the video that we're doing. So stay tuned. That's coming out in a couple weeks. Alright, so this very first story is called The Cursed VHS. Years ago, there was a group of 3 girls who went to high school together. They were all best friends, and one night during the summer holidays, they decided to have a sleepover party. So they spent all day long planning their sleepover, and because they were all horror fans, they decided that they wanted to go and rent a horror movie. It was late at night when the 3 girls piled into a car and drove down to their local video rental store, but it was closed. So the girls spent the next half hour driving around trying to find another place that they could rent a movie. Eventually, they found a little shop that was located in a side street and went inside. Now the girls were not able to all agree on a movie to rent, so one of the girls went to the lady behind the counter and asked if she had any suggestions for them. The woman told her that she had just the thing for them and disappeared into a back room. Now while they were waiting, one of the girls saw a videotape just sitting by itself on the counter. It didn't have a box cover or a label, and it seemed to be very dirty and stained. She was curious to see what it was, so she reached over and picked it up. Just then, the woman came rushing out from the back room, grabbed the tape from the girl's hand, and with a very strange smile on her face, she said,
"That's not something you girls should be watching."
When they asked her what it was, she told the girls that they should not be touching it, and that it was a home movie. Then she handed them an old horror film and told them it would be a much better movie for them to watch. So they all agreed, and right before they left the store, one of the girls took the opportunity to sneakily grab the tape from the counter and put it into her purse. Later that night, when the girls all returned home, that girl took it out of her purse and said, "Hey, look what I stole. We should watch it." They put the tape in the video recorder and pressed play. All of a sudden, the power went out and the room was plunged into darkness. However, the television was still on. There was a loud crackle of static, and then the movie started to play. On the screen, they saw this woman, and she was surrounded by a bunch of angry men. They were yelling at her and carrying these burning torches. It looked to be some sort of witch trial from the 1600s, and suddenly the men set a huge fire underneath her. The woman began laughing maniacally, but the men kept yelling things at her like,
"She's a witch, burn her."
As the flames rose higher and higher, she said that all who witness her death will suffer the same fate in 2 days' time. Then there was a screech of static and the VCR stopped playing. The terrified girls sat in the dark for a long time until the power came back on. Now they tried to all convince each other that it must have been some sort of prank, but after a while they agreed that they should probably return the tape immediately. When they arrived at the location of the video store, it was gone. All they found was an abandoned building and an empty parking lot. 2 days later, all of the girls that were at this sleepover perished, and the police that were investigating their deaths said it was incredibly mysterious, especially because all 3 deaths had been caused by a fire. Now they found a trash can outside of one of the girls' houses. It had been completely set on fire, and everything inside it was destroyed except that for a videotape. This tape had been completely untouched by the flames. And guess which tape it was? And that's how this story ends. Oh my goodness, it kind of reminds me of the Ring story in a way, but instead of 7 days, they have 2 days to live. Incredibly creepy. And then we have a story called the Forbidden Barbie VHS tape. There's a girl that was staying at her babysitter's house for the weekend while her parents were away on a work trip. Now, her babysitter had so many boxes of old VHS tapes and told her that she could feel free to look through them and pick out a movie that she wanted to watch. She was searching through all of them for about 10 minutes until she found this one particular tape that was named Barbie Fell. It showed this picture of Barbie's face, except she was not smiling. She almost had this extremely panicked look on her face. She showed the tape to her babysitter, and her babysitter looked incredibly confused. She said that she did not remember owning that movie as a kid and had no idea how it got into her collection of tapes. But the girl was so curious, so she decided to put it on anyway. The first 5 minutes of the movie was static, and then a date popped up on the screen that read September 3rd, 1985. And then warped violin music started to play, and a video of someone's backyard showed up on the screen. Then this woman with a long blue gown started to walk through this tall grass. What was so strange is that she looked like a human version of Barbie, and there was all this mascara running down her face as if she had been crying. Suddenly the girl realized that it wasn't just anyone's backyard, it was her babysitter's backyard. So she called her babysitter to come see, but she was nowhere to be found in the house. She kept watching as the woman in the movie somberly walked along through the grass, and suddenly this man's voice boomed through the movie, and he said,
"See Barbie walk."
Then 5 minutes later,
She's not feeling well today.
it showed this close-up of her face crying.
Barbie better watch where she's going.
And then the girl watched in surprise as Barbie fell into a deep, dark hole in the ground, her haunting scream echoing as she disappeared into the darkness.
Goodbye, Barbie.
The man said as the film turned to static. And that's the end of this story. How bizarre is this? I have never heard of a Barbie VHS tape that was like this creepy, but I found this story also very intriguing, so I had to include it in this video. Anyways, guys, if you want me to do more videos about lost VHS tapes, there are so many out there, so give this video a thumbs up if you want me to do more on that. And don't forget, if you would like to win this new backdrop behind me, go to my Instagram, tell me who your favorite Harry Potter character is, and I'll be announcing the winner in a few weeks. But I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!